Hello again, everyone, and welcome to our weekly Watch Party Wednesday. I'm Lee Gordon, coming to you live from Chicago, home of Brunswick Corporation, where we are thrilled to welcome in all of our Freedom Boat Club owners and members from around the world. We certainly hope that everyone had a safe and happy Labor Day weekend on the water, hopefully. And following up to last week's Labor Day special, saluting our troops, we want to make sure to salute our own troops here at Freedom Boat Club, our incredible dock operations team. They make the entire operation go round. I'm telling you, they keep the members safe. They keep everybody happy on the water during these unprecedented times. Tonight, we are pleased to introduce to you two of our dock operations leaders, Nick Thomas and Mariah Lawrence, to share what our dock operations team have been doing to keep our members safe during these times. Guys, thank you for joining us and welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us, Lee.
No problem. So thank you for everything you do, and we're going to talk about your roles and how you make the members safe. But let's start with a Spotify playlist. We talk so much about music, and if you guys have seen this on Wednesday night, we like to talk about music. So I hope you've thought about the answer to the question I'm going to ask you. So Mariah, let's start with you. Before we dive in, we've got our social club and our new Taste of Freedom tunes on Spotify. When you're out on the water or you're on the docks and you got the earbuds on, what are you listening to?
You know, I tend to always kind of go the reggae way, just kind of trying to get into kind of where Nick is right now, kind of the tropical beach life on the freshwater. And I tend, you know, my favorite song, if I have to narrow it down, is probably Closer to the Sun by Slightly Stupid. For some reason, that song has always just kind of been my go-to. Anytime my friends are like, Mariah, DJ time, I'm like, okay, I got the first one. I know what it's going to be.
I know you're in Nashville now, though. You may have to get in the country.
Oh, yep. I am in Nashville now. Maybe. We'll see.
We'll think about it, right? A couple nights hanging out on Broadway with friends, you might just get into it, right?
Might grab a cowgirl hat and some boots while I'm at it. Right. I don't know.
Right?
Nick, what about you? What do you jam out to?
It depends on what I'm doing, to be perfectly honest. Most of the time, I'll take that same step that Mariah takes. I'll listen to something just really chill and relaxing so we can keep all of our members in the mood and we can keep all of our staff in the mood. But when the end of the day comes, which is where we're at now, we might do something like some classic rock, and Thunderstruck by AC/DC is probably one of the ones that we use to keep us going and get us to that afternoon push.
Well, you guys, you know, and that leads right into my next question. You guys have a lot of energy on the docks, and you need to, because you are the people that people see when they come to the dock. You're the people that they greet when they come back off the boats. You've got to be energetic. You've got to have fun. You've got to show that you love what you're doing. So, Mariah, let's talk with you. You know, I'm constantly told about your love for Freedom Boat Club and your energy and your passion. Where does it come from, and what does working at Freedom mean to you?
You know, it came from, I started working at a marina at a very, very young age. My dad was a marina manager, and my dad is a very high energy, hardworking gentleman. And I just followed him along my entire life. And, you know, I ended up working at that marina until I went to college. And right after college, I just had this opportunity with Freedom. I was 21. And the first taste that I got was going to the Freedom Boat Club conference at a very, very young age. And they all just started treating me like the Freedom Boat Club baby and just started feeding my brain with how I need to, you know, the mentality I need to have, what needs to happen. And it's kind of like, you know, those prime years in teaching kids, you know, it was like 21-year-old Mariah, Freedom baby. And that's what made me, you know, kind of get into this. And now just about a decade later, here we are. I love it, truly do.
That's great. Nick, I feel like you're about to comment on that. You got that look on your face.
Oh, like Mariah, like when you think of Freedom Boat Club, Mariah is definitely like the Freedom family, and she definitely embodies everything about Freedom Boat Club. And it's great to see so many of us that have been here for so long. Like, it really is a testament to how awesome and how fun of a workplace this is.
No, that's great. But I would be remiss if I didn't just thank you for having that Mercury engine behind you. That's very, very good product placement. So well done on that, because otherwise, like I said before, we would have to turn the camera a little bit on you.
Right? We just have to tilt everything, but no, it makes it easy.
So, you know, since March, you guys, obviously everybody's dealing with COVID around the world, but Freedom has certainly been leading the charge. A lot of new processes and procedures in place to keep members safe. You know, Mariah, let's start with you and some of the work you're doing in Tennessee. What are some of the efforts that you guys have put underway and that you're still doing today to make sure that everybody's safe?
Well, you know, trying to keep everybody as distant as we can. You know, sometimes when the heat of the moment, everybody's excited to get out. You know, you have those 9 a.m., those 2 p.m., those 10 a.m., whatever arrival times. Everybody's amped to get there. So, you know, keeping them spread out. And one way that I got the dock staff really encouraged to do all of this cleaning is I bought some foam guns. Foam guns are probably the best thing that you can have. We put our Performicide with the water mixture in there, dilute it down a bit. You basically just spray it, gets it all done, hits every single spot of the boat, let it sit, spray it out, and go over the high touch points a little bit more thoroughly. But, you know, keeping people spread out, making sure everything's clean, making people feel safe, that's the biggest thing. But those foam guns, game changer, absolute game changer.
Nick, can you top that? Do you guys have foam guns? And you need to get some if you don't.
Yeah, no, they said now they just went straight to the top of my list. We're getting foam guns for everybody because that's like awesome. No, we're pretty much doing about the same thing. We're disinfecting our vessels 3 to 5 times a day. We're making sure that our members are staying socially distant when on and around the dock. We have staggered arrival times from sunrise to sunset. And the most important, we also have all of our employees wearing PPE for every time they interact with each other or with our other members. But the single most thing that we found is communication. We just make sure that we communicate with our coworkers and we're communicating with our members to make sure that everyone's being safe and staying distant when and where appropriate.
Oh, that's great. So, you know, as you guys mentioned, there's some folks who go out on the water and enjoy it. There are other of our Freedom members who are at home and not able to get out yet. But I know that when families get on the water, it's the true escape. You know, there's not a better way to social distance than to get on the water, go boating, and have some fun. So, Mariah, let's start with you. Can you share some stories of some of your members that have just gone out on the water and truly just enjoyed themselves so much in these times?
Yeah, you know, especially, you know, every year we have, you know, that type of case, but this year especially, we had so many people that have never really boated before. We had a lot of people coming in, you know, joining the club that, you know, their kids have never really experienced it, the parents especially. And, you know, those families utilized it a lot more than my veteran members, truly. And, you know, midway towards the season around that 4th of July mark, kind of just touched base with everyone. Was like, you know, how are you enjoying it? And they were just overwhelmed with excitement, just, you know, became true boaters just in that short amount of time of being members, just having that, you know, extra activity to do other than being at home. But this year, especially, the new members were so grateful, which, you know, is always a touch to everybody's heart.
Oh, that's great. Nick, how about you?
So school just started up for us back down here, and some of them are virtual learning. Some of them are going physically into school, but there's still a lot of the schools haven't gone full bore and started yet. So we've actually seen the grandparents taking the kids out. So it gives the parents some time to do their chores and do their errands. So we've actually seen more grandparents taking their kids out, and we saw a huge uptake with our members doing Father-Daughter Day, and the fathers are taking their daughters out fishing to spend more time with them, as opposed to when they before would automatically just either go fishing with their buddies. They're taking that extra time to spend it with their kids and their family. And recently, with the huge surge of the new members that we've had, which is great, we're seeing multi-generational family water days. Like the grandparents, the parents, the kids, the grandkids, they're going out and they're going tubing, they're going wakeboarding, they're just spending the day out on the water, and that is so exciting and so refreshing to see.
No, that's great. You just gave me an idea. I need to call my parents and have them take my kids out on the water. Get them out of the house for a couple of hours. It's a great idea. I really like that.
Down here, they call them the built-in babysitters.
It's exactly right. And they're out on the water. Maybe their cell phones don't work. It's even better, right? So you guys, you know, you guys are, you know, on the front line here at Freedom Boat Club, but I know we've got nurses and doctors and firefighters and police officers as members as well. You know, can you guys talk to, you know, Mariah, maybe start with you, some folks who have come on the water and introduce themselves, or some of your members that you know are fighting the fight here with COVID?
Yeah, we have a lot of people that work in the healthcare industry in the boat club. And one of the main things that they really focus on as part as being the club and owning a boat is the fact that, you know, they work these really long hours. Sometimes, you know, I have one member, he works the night shift. One member, sometimes he's working 12, 14 hours a day. He works in the ER. And, you know, it's just about getting off work, being able to meet the family at the marina, and they're ready to go, he's ready to go, and they're out. You know, where, you know, sometimes owning a boat, it takes time to get it ready. You know, is the gas dock open? Do we need fuel? Do we even want to uncover and cover the boat today? You know, things like that, where it's so easy for people that work these long hours to just hop on, go, enjoy it, come back, go home.
That's great. Nick, how about you? What are you seeing with your members?
So yeah, we have a lot of doctors, nurses, EMTs, a lot of healthcare professionals being down here in Southwest Florida. And they've taken that same approach, is that, hey, it just makes it easy. We just want to get out on the water and just enjoy being out on the water. And when we ask them what their favorite parts are, a lot of them say, honestly, it's just the fresh air, or they'll take their family and they'll go to an island by themselves and just do a picnic. And then we have two doctors that they work together in the ER, and they just go out and they're fishing buddies too. And they just go out, they fish, and they come back. And we ask them, well, like, what's the difference? What makes it? And they say it's just the decompression time from their crazy and hectic days. Being out on the water, it's calming, it's soothing, and relaxing for them. And they just say it's one of the best things that they can do.
Oh, that's great. Of course, you know, Freedom Boat Club is the #1 social club for boaters in the world. And post-COVID, there's going to be all kinds of breakouts, if you will. Everybody's going to be wanting to do something crazy and get out and just go explore. But, you know, what are some of the things you guys are looking forward to and your members are looking forward to in this post-COVID world?
Nick, you want to start?
Sure. So I know that a lot of our members have missed our dockside potluck parties, where everybody brings a dish, or we do a chili contest or a chili cook-off, and we host it like in the parking lot at one of our marinas, and we're on and around the boats, and everybody's having a good time together, hanging out, and just socializing and interacting. And that's something that a lot of our members have missed, not being able to do that. We also have a group dinners thing that they absolutely love doing, and we haven't been able to do that. But I think one of the biggest ones is our sporting events. Like, we have the FBC Sporting Social Club, and like, we'll go to a lightning game, a hockey game, a baseball game, or a football game or something. And that's literally, everybody has talked about how much they've missed not being able to go to the sporting events with the Freedom Boat Club family this year.
Right. Mariah, how about you?
Yeah, just kind of tagging along with that, just being able to get together. You know, a lot of the members, just our professionals, and the networking side that kind of comes along with it, kind of getting away from just, you know, all the virtual stuff. Everyone just excited to get back into socializing, you know, telling stories, enjoying the stories that they have with each other, you know, with even just Freedom Boat Club itself. But one thing that I personally miss, a lot of the time, like with our wake surf boats and things like that, there are a lot of members that will text me around lunch and just say, hey, Mariah, you got a couple hours, I'd like to get a run in. And I'll drive the boat while they take a slalom ski session, a wakeboard session, a wake surf session, and that gives me time to enjoy it, decompress, and also gives them the opportunity, of course, to enjoy just an hour or two out on the water. And I, you know, decided not to do that this year, and I really look forward to getting back into that.
No, that'll be a lot of fun. You know, Freedom Boat Club now has almost 240 locations, growing like crazy. And you have the ultimate travel pass, the Freedom Travel Pass, when you get out on the water. So I know you guys are aficionados in your state. Mariah, you know Tennessee very well. And, you know, Nick, I know you know Florida very well. So Mariah, let's start with you. You know, now you're new to Nashville, but you do know boating in Tennessee. If somebody had never been boating in Tennessee before, what are some of just the fantastic places we could see?
Well, I'm going to touch on two, one of which is in my new area here in Nashville, and they have a hidden gem, I tell you, and Center Hill Lake, right in the middle of Tennessee. Some of the cleanest water I've seen, deep water. You know, you can't really build a house there on the water, and you can't have a private dock or anything. So, you know, when you're out there, it's super, super quiet. It's beautiful. If you haven't been to Center Hill Lake, I really encourage you to. But second on my list is back in my hometown there in the east side of the state, Tellico Lake, there even where the Sea Ray plant is. It is probably one of my favorite places to boat. You kind of come around this turn and the Sea Ray plant is kind of off in the distance, and you just have just this huge scape of mountains just in front of you, clear water, clean water. I would pretty much just turn the boat off there, sit, probably not even listen to music at that point, and just kind of take it in, kind of recalibrate, get back into the groove of things, and continue on. So I would say Tellico Lake, hidden gem, and love the hidden gem of Center Hill Lake there, Middle Tennessee.
That's great. Nick, you got a lot to live up to. I've lived in Florida for a long time, so I know there's some beautiful spots, but what do you got for us?
Yeah, so in Southwest Florida, I would have to say it honestly depends on what I want to do is where I'm going to go. If I want to go to the beach, relax, or go wakeboarding, I'm going to go to Key Wading down in the Naples, Marco area, or I'm going to go to Sand Dollar off Siesta Key because they have the gorgeous, like, white beaches and clear water that just has an endless horizon looking out over the Gulf. If I want to go for food, you know, there's like Dock Fords, Cabbage Key, Spanish Point, Seafood Shack, all up and down the coast. And if I'm going fishing, then I'm probably going to go to 10,000 Islands, down south of Marco, Gasparilla Pass during tarpon season, or Blackburn Bay or Terracea Bay just for some general good red snapper fishing. So yeah, it depends on what I'm going to do. It depends on where I'm going that day.
Mariah, he's trying to one-up you here. He's just like rattling these off one after. It's like the
I don't think that's possible.
I'm landlocked. You see, I'm landlocked. He has all kinds of areas. I'm locked to one little body of water.
Well, you guys, that's great stuff. And without further ado, please enjoy a glimpse of some very special times our members are having out on the water during these unprecedented times. Well, Mariah and Nick, I can't thank you enough for joining us here this evening. And members, remember to tune in every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time for our Freedom Social Watch Party Wednesdays.